Hello students, welcome to our APS classes, and as all we know that this is our foundation course especially for the students from 8th to 12th. And dear students, in our today's video we will discuss about the most important expected questions related with the class 11th for the subject that is biology for the session March 2022. तो जैसे कि बेटे आप सभी जानते हैं कि बोर्ड एग्जाम जो हैं वो मैक्सिमम क्लासेस के जो हैं वो शुरू हो चुके हैं। अब प्लस वन के भी जो है वो बोर्ड एग्जाम शुरू होने जा रहे हैं 19 मार्च से। तो उसी से रिलेटेड आज की वीडियो जो है हमारी दैट इज रिलेटेड विद द बायोलॉजी सब्जेक्ट, जिसमें हम इम्पोर्टेंट 20 मोस्ट एक्सपेक्टेड क्वेश्चंस को आज आपके साथ डिस्कस करेंगे। एंड दिस सिलेबस इज कॉमन फॉर ऑल द बोर्ड्स, आइदर CBSE बोर्ड और द स्टेट बोर्ड for the session March 2022. So let us start with our questions that are MCQ questions or objective questions related with your biology subject. तो हम जो questions लिए हैं बेटे, हमने लिए हैं endocrine system, control and coordination in the endocrine system. So what do you mean by the term endocrine system? Endocrine system deals with the endocrine glands that are directly related with the nervous system. Endocrine glands are also called as ductless gland, and it also maintains the homeostasis of the body. The branch of science which deals with the study of the endocrine glands is known as endocrinology, and a person who specializes the endocrine glands, it is known as endocrinologist. So this is the brief introduction regarding the chapter that is endocrine system as well as control and coordination in the endocrine system. So there are some important questions that are related with this chapter, and your first question is the region of the vertebrate eye where the optic nerve passes out of retina is called. The region of the vertebrate eye where the optic nerve passes out of retina is called. Options are fovea, second one is iris, third one is blind spot, and the fourth one is optic chiasma. तो बेटे आपको यहाँ पर ये बताना है कि एक ऐसा रीजन वर्टिब्रेट्स का where the optic nerves passes out of retina, जहां पर आपके optic nerves जो हैं that are directly passes out of the retina, and that is called as either fovea, iris, blind spot as well as optic chiasma. तो बेटे जो region हमारा vertebrate eye का है जहां पर हमारे optic nerves जो है that passes out of the retina is called as blind spot. उस point को क्या कहा जाता है बेटे? blind spot. Not fovea, not iris, and even not optic chiasma, but that region is known as blind spot. So here blind spot is the right answer. Now shift to the next question, that is the question number 2. In human eye the blind spot contains, human eye में blind spot जो होते हैं वो क्या contain करते हैं? Either rods, cones, both rods and cones, and neither rods and cones. So in human eye, the blind spot, it either contains the rods, contains the cones, both rod and cones को contain करते हैं, या फिर neither rods and cones. So here बेटा in human eye, the blind spot contains, आपको सही ऑप्शन जो है इसमें आपको चूज करनी है कि क्या contain करते हैं जो आपके blind spot है human eye के. So the blind spot in human eye, it contains neither rods nor cones. Neither rods nor cones. इनमें ना तो rods को contain करते हैं ना ही ये cones को करते हैं. So in other words we can say that both the rod cells as well as cone cells are absent in the blind spot. So this is the second question. Now shift to the third question, and your third question is the nature of nerve impulse conduction is, जो nerve impulse conduction है its nature is either mechanical nature, thermal nature, electrochemical nature or chemical nature. So out of these options, what is the nature of the conduction of the nerve impulse? Either it is mechanical in nature, either it is thermal in nature, electrochemical in nature, या फिर chemical in nature. So here beta, the nature of the nerve impulse conduction is electrochemical in nature. Electrochemical in nature. Not mechanical nature, not thermal nature, and even not chemical nature. But the nature is, that is electrochemical nature. So here this is the right answer. Now shift to the next question, that is your question number 4. Pain can be detected by. Pain can be detected by. First option is proprioceptors, Cbse receptors, thermoreceptors, thigmoreceptors. So out of these, the pain can be detected by either proprioceptors, Cbse receptors, thermoreceptors or thigmoreceptors. तो जो पेन है बेटा, पेन इज डिटेक्टेड बाय, उसको हम पेन को डिटेक्ट कर सकते हैं नॉट विद द हेल्प ऑफ proprioceptors, not with thermoreceptors and even not with thigmoreceptors, but the pain can be detected by Cbse receptors. Cbse receptors. So this is the right answer for the question number 4. Now shift to the question number 5, and your question number 5 is an area of retina which does not have rods and cones is an area of the retina which does not have rods and cones. ऐसा एरिया रेटिना का जहां पर ना तो रॉड्स होते हैं ना ही कोन्स होते हैं. And options are yellow spot, B is the red spot, C is the blind spot and D is the blue spot. तो बेटे आप इसका आंसर जो है वो जल्दी से जस्टिफाई करें कि क्या इसका आंसर हो सकता है. What is the correct answer of this question? And an area of the retina which does not have rods and cones. Yellow spot, red spot, blind spot and blue spot. So the area of the retina which does not have rods and cones, so the optic nerves live behind the iris, so that's why that area is known as blind spot. That area is known as blind spot. Not yellow spot, not red spot and even not blue spot, but the area of the retina that does not have rods and cones, that area is known as blind spot, because the retina, in this the optic nerves live behind the iris. That's why that area which does not have rods and cones is called as the blind spot. Next question is related with nervous system. Options are receives information from the external environment. Second one is retains memory of the past information. Third one conducts messages to different parts of the body. And D is all of the above. Nervous system. This is the most important part of the body. Either it receives the informations. अब nervous system है, that means it receives informations from the external environment, या फिर it retains memory of the past information, and either it conducts messages to the different parts of the body, and the last one is all of the above. So here beta nervous system, it receives the information from the external environment and after that it transfers to the different parts of the body. So here nervous system receives information from the external environment and after that it transfer the information to the different parts of the body. So here this is the right answer. Next is the number of the cranial nerves in mammals including man is. Cranial nerves. Cranial nerves are present in human beings as well as in mammals. So what is the number of the cranial nerves? Either the number of the cranial nerves is 10, 12, 24 and 36. So beta remember one thing, जो number है cranial nerves का in mammals including man is 24. is 24. So there are 24 cranial nerves. There are 24 cranial nerves present in the man as well as in the mammals. So here this is the right answer for the question number 7, that there are 24 cranial nerves in man. There are 24 cranial nerves in man including mammals. Next is question number 8, and your question number 8 is vagus nerve is either 10 is the vagus nerve, 9 is the vagus nerve, 7th is the vagus nerve, or 5th is the vagus nerve. So out of these nerves, which is the vagus nerve? 10, 9, 7 or 5. That means there are 4 nerves. 10, 9, 7 and 5. So out of these, which is the vagus nerve? So here beta, 10 is the vagus nerve. 10 is the vagus nerve. 10 is the vagus nerve. 10 जो है बेटे, that is the vagus nerve. 9 nerve is accessory spinal. This is accessory यहाँ लिख देते हैं इसको. 9 is accessory spinal. Accessory spinal. This is the 9. 7th is the facial nerve. 7th facial nerve. 7th is the facial nerve. And the last one is 5th. 5th is the trigeminal nerve. 5th is the trigeminal nerve. So here there are 4 nerves, but out of these 4 nerves, vagus nerve is 10. 9 is the accessory spinal nerve. 7th is the facial nerve. Whereas 7th is the facial nerve, whereas 5th is the trigeminal nerve. So the vagus nerve is 10. So 10 is the right answer. Now shift to the next question, and your next question is question number 9. Number of spinal nerves in man is, after the cranial nerves as well as vagus nerve, the number of the spinal nerves present in case of the man is, number 1 is 31 pairs, second one is 32 pairs, C is 12 pairs, and 4th is 29 pairs. 4th is 29 pairs. So out of these pairs, what is the total number of the spinal nerves that is present in case of the human beings or the man? So beta, the number of spinal nerves in man is number of spinal nerves in man is 31 pairs, not 32 pairs, not 12 pairs, and even not 29 pairs, but the accurate number of the cranial nerves present in case of the man is 31 pairs. Now shift to the question number 10, and the question number 10 is the nature of the nerve impulses. इससे पहले भी हमने ये क्वेश्चन डिस्कस किया है कि जो नेचर है नर्व इम्पल्स का वो क्या है, आइदर केमिकल है, मैकेनिकल है, इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल है या फिर बायोफिजिकल है. सो व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ द nerve impulse? Options are physical nature, chemical nature, third one is electrochemical nature, and the last one is biophysical nature. So there are 4 natures. One is the physical nature, second one is the chemical nature, third one is the electrochemical nature, and the last one is the biophysical nature. So you will choose the right option. What is the nature of the nerve impulse? तो बेटे जो नेचर है हमारा nerve impulse का, that is electrochemical, not physical, not chemical, and even not biophysical, but the accurate nature of the nerve impulse is electrochemical in nature. So nerve impulse is of electrochemical in nature. Next is the question number 11, and your question number 11 is eye lenses, bioconcave, concave, convex and bioconvex. So here beta, eye lens is bioconvex. Bioconvex lies behind the iris. It is transparent and formed of fibrous tissue. So that's why eye lens is bioconvex. Not bioconcave, not concave, and even not convex. But it is bioconvex. convex, because bioconvex lies behind the iris and it is transparent and is formed of fibrous tissues. Now shift to the next question, and your next question is, this is the question of your part B. पार्ट बी, पहला जो हमने किया बेटे दैट इज पार्ट ए। इससे पहले जो हमने किया वो कौन सा था आपका? पार्ट ए। दिस इज योर पार्ट ए। नाउ शिफ्ट टू द पार्ट बी, एंड योर पार्ट बी फ्रॉम क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, एंड योर क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 इज metamorphosis of frog is controlled by. Metamorphosis of frog is controlled by. Options are insulin, second one is growth hormone, third one is thyroxine, and D is vasopressin. So out of these, which is the correct answer for the question number 1, that is metamorphosis of frog is controlled by. तो बेटा जो metamorphosis of frog है, it is controlled by thyroxine. Not by insulin, not by growth hormone, and even not by vasopressin. जो metamorphosis होता है frog का, it is always controlled with the help of the thyroxine. So here thyroxine is the right answer. Thyroxine. Now shift to the next question, and your next question is, that is the question number 2. Which hormone controls blood calcium level? कौन सा हार्मोन है जो कि ब्लड कैल्शियम लेवल को कंट्रोल करता है? ऑप्शंस है ग्लूकागन, ACTH, पैराथार्मोन, एंड D is the insulin. So out of these, which hormone controls the blood calcium level? क्योंकि जो हमारे ब्लड में कैल्शियम का लेवल है, इसको कोई ना कोई हार्मोन जो है उसको वो क्या करता है? मेंटेन करता है, कंट्रोल करता है ब्लड कैल्शियम लेवल को। सो वो हार्मोन कौन है बेटा? ग्लूकागोन है, ACTH है, पैराथार्मोन है, या फिर इंसुलिन है? सो बेटा पैराथार्मोन is the hormone that controls the blood calcium level, and that hormone is paratharmone. 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 So this is the right answer, because paratharmone controls the blood calcium level. Next is your question number 3, and your question number 3 is insulin promotes. हमारी बॉडी में जो इंसुलिन का हार्मोन होता है, it promotes either glycogenesis, glucosuria, glycogenolysis, या फिर gluconeogenesis. So out of these 4 options, insulin promote either glycogenesis, glucosuria, glycogenolysis, या फिर gluconeogenesis. So which is the correct option for the question number 3? That is the insulin promotes. So beta insulin always promotes glycogenesis. हमेशा glycogenesis को promote करता है. जो इंसुलिन है, it always promotes the glycogenesis. So insulin promotes glycogenesis in the body, not glycosuria, not glycogenolysis, and even not gluconeogenesis. Now shift to the next question, and your next question is question number 4. Diabetes insipidus is due to. Options are hypersecretion of vasopressin, second one is hyposecretion of insulin, C hypersecretion of insulin, and D is hyposecretion of vasopressin. So it is your question number 4. Diabetes insipidus is due to. जो diabetic है या diabetes insipidus है, it is due to either the hypersecretion of vasopressin, hyposecretion of insulin, hypersecretion of insulin, या फिर hyposecretion of vasopressin. So बेटा hypersecretion of vasopressin creates diabetes insipidus, या फिर hypersecretion of vasopressin, it causes diabetes insipidus, या फिर diabetes insipidus is due to the hypersecretion of vasopressin. So this is the right answer. It is your question number 4. Next is your question number 5, and your question number 5 is question number 5. Which of the following atrophies at the age of 14 to 16 years? आपके पास ऑप्शंस दी गई हैं. इन ऑप्शंस में से आपको जस्टिफाई करना है कि इनमें से कौन सी एट्रोफीज से हैं जो कि अटेन होती हैं एट द एज ऑफ 14 to 16 years. ऑप्शंस आर thymus, B pancreas, C thyroid, and D is both A and C. That is both thymus as well as thyroid. So atrophies at the age of 14 to 16 years. So बेटा it begins to shrink, and atrophies जो thymus है it begins to shrink and atrophies with the development of sex glands. Atrophies with the development of sex glands. Whereas thymus begins to shrink. Whereas thymus begins to shrink. Thymus begins to shrink and atrophies with the development of sex glands. Whereas puberty is attaining at the age of 14 to 16 years. जो puberty का phase है, that is puberty attaining at the age of 14 to 16 years. So यहाँ पे पूछा गया था कि which of the following atrophies at the age of 14 to 16 years? Thymus begins to shrink and atrophies with the development of the sex glands, and puberty attaining at the age of 14 to 16 years. So here beta this is the right answer, that is thymus. Thymus is the right answer. Now shift to the question number 6, and your question number 6 is the set of purely endocrine glands. इनमें से आपको एक purely endocrine glands का set जो है वो justify करना है. First is placenta, liver, kidneys. Second one is pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid. C intestine, placenta, pancreas, and D is all of the above. So here beta you will choose the set of the purely endocrine glands, and it is your question number 6. आपको इसमें से set जो है purely endocrine glands का उसको justify करना है. So beta the set of purely endocrine glands is pituitary, thyroid, and parathyroid. The set of purely endocrine glands is pituitary, thyroid, and parathyroid are purely endocrine glands. Pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid. These are the set of the purely endocrine glands. They secrete their hormones into the blood. ये जो है ये क्या करते हैं? They secrete their hormones into the blood. And thence to the target organ. तो हमें यहाँ जो क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था बेटे वो ये था कि आपको इनमें से एक प्योरली एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड्स का जो सेट है वो जस्टिफाई करना है. तो इसमें जो हमारे प्योरली एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड्स है बेटे दैट आर पिट्यूटरी, थायराइड एंड पैराथायराइड. These are the set of the purely endocrine glands. They secrete their hormones into the blood and thence to the target organ. So here this is the right answer. Now shift to the next question, and your next question is which of the following is a heterocrine gland? Which of the following is a heterocrine gland? And it is your question number 7. Options are liver, B pancreas, C sweat glands, and D is stomach. So out of these options, which is the heterocrine glands? Liver, pancreas, sweat gland, and stomach. So here beta the set or the heterocrine glands out of these following options is pancreas. Pancreas is a heterocrine gland. So here this is the right answer for the question number 7. Now shift to the next question, that is your question number 8, and your question number 8 is endocrine glands are those which put their secretions directly into the dash. एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड होते हैं वो होते हैं जो कि डायरेक्टली अपनी सिक्रीशन जो है वो डायरेक्टली किस में करते हैं? ऑप्शन ब्लड, डक्ट्स, ऑर्गन्स या फिर नन ऑफ दीज. एंड इट इज योर क्वेश्चन नंबर 8. जस्टिफाई करें बेटे. एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड होते हैं दे डायरेक्टली secrete the secretions into एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड्स होने. सबसे पहले तो हमें ये पता है कि एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड्स होते क्या है. एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड, दीज आर द ग्लैंड्स which are also known as ductless glands. ये ductless glands होते हैं. Endocrine glands are also known as ductless glands, and they directly put their secretion directly into the blood. Endocrine glands are also known as ductless glands, and they put their secretion directly into the blood. और ये अपनी secretion directly किस में put करते हैं बेटे? Blood में put करते हैं. They directly put the secretion into the blood serum, and therefore they are called as endocrine glands. Endocrine glands. अब इनको endocrine glands क्यों बोला जाता है बेटे? Because they directly put the secretion into the blood stream, and after that they are called as the endocrine glands. Next is question number 9. Growth hormone is secreted by. Growth hormone किसके द्वारा secrete होता है बेटे? It is your question number 9. So growth hormone is secreted by, options are thyroid, B thymus, C adrenal, and D is pituitary. So out of these options, growth hormone is secreted by either thyroid है, thymus है, adrenal है या फिर pituitary है. So here बेटा growth hormone secreted by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Anterior lobe of pituitary glands. Pituitary gland. So this is the right answer. That is pituitary. Anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Next is your question number 10, and your question number 10 is gignatism and acromegaly are due to. Gignatism and acromegaly are due to, options are hyperpituitarism, B hypothyroidism, C hypopituitarism, and the last one is hyperthyroidism. There are 4 options. Gignatism and acromegaly are due to either hyperpituitarism है या फिर hypothyroidism है या फिर hypopituitarism है या फिर hyperthyroidism है. So which is the right answer for the question number 10? तो बेटे जो gignatism है, gignatism, it begins at the childhood. Gignatism begins at the childhood, and acromegaly in the adult. It begins in the adulthood. So this is the difference between the gignatism and acromegaly. Gignatism begins at the childhood, whereas acromegaly begins at the adulthood and is the result of hyposecretion of, और इसमें जो है वो किस चीज का रिजल्ट होता है? रिजल्ट ऑफ हाइपोसिक्रेशन, hyperpituitarism, result of hyperpituitarism. So बेटा gignatism that is begins at the childhood, and acromegaly it begins at the adulthood. That is the result of, or it is due to hyperpituitarism. So this is the right answer. Hyperpituitarism. So gignatism that begins at the childhood and acromegaly at the adulthood is due to hyperpituitarism. So this is the right answer. So here बेटा हमने यहाँ पर important जो है 20 objective questions और MCQ questions जो हैं that related with the class 11 regarding the subject biology, उसके regarding हमने important expected questions को discuss किया है, और इसके साथ साथ हमने इसकी रीजनिंग भी डिस्कस की है. तो आई होप सभी स्टूडेंट जो है एग्जाम्स के पर्पज से इसका ज्यादा से ज्यादा बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं, क्योंकि अब सभी के जो बोर्ड एग्जाम्स हैं वो शुरू हो चुके हैं और कुछ के होने वाले हैं। सो विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर योर फाइनल एग्जाम्स।